the placenta, do we just take that with us or
Put it in my bag?
like a Ziploc? We were like, what is, and then this other lady was like, is there a mirror so my husband can watch what's going on like on the ceiling? She wanted to know if there was a mirror on the ceiling.
Yeah, after you guys fuck and we all watch you use the mirror.
I was like, ew, Jared, if there's a mirror, you're not looking in it.
There were a myriad of those kind of questions at mine, and at one point somebody asked a question, I just burst out like,
yeah.
I was like, I could not hold in the laughter.
And my husband's a comedian too, so we were just literally side talking to each other like the whole time. Like this woman, and then they were explaining the forceps, right? They don't use forceps a lot, but they were kind of explaining like what they use the forceps for. And like it was interesting because like I think a lot of people think the forceps are just like, yep, then I grab this baby by the head and pull it out. Like that's not really what they're for. It's more for like twisting their head if their head is like twisted the wrong way.
And barbecues.
Yeah. Exactly. and this crazy woman in my class was like, well, won't that like hurt their head? And I wanted the nurses to go, holy shit, we never thought of that. You are the first person in fucking thousands of years of childbirth. I
don't know, just came to me.
Thank you so much for being here. Like what? And she
can you stay? There's some doctors that have a lot of
We
questions.
have the Johns Hopkins Medical Journal coming in. Can we have you give an interview?
So glad we found you and your amazing question. It was just like she just kept asking and she kept pushing it, being like, no, I'm just saying with the forceps, like when you twist the head, doesn't that hurt their neck? And she was doubling down on it, and I was like, you are so dumb. So anyway,
brave.
I love making fun of people. It's just
the best.
So it's been really fun with the whole multiple other couples in the room type of things that you have to go to in these early pre-days.
Oh, just wait until you have parent taught classes.
I don't know if I can handle this, you
it's
guys. I already I've had a lot of friends ask me. I know. Yeah. I've had a lot of friends ask me, "Oh, do you want me to add you to my Facebook group of moms groups?" And I'm like, "No, please don't. I don't want to be in any of them." I have so many friends with kids. Yeah. I'll text now with technology. I'll text my friends. I don't need to be one friend was going to add me to this group that she said she was like, it's actually really good for crowdsourcing just activities or so. And I was like, okay, maybe one I'll be in or something. But then another friend was telling me about this one. There's a female Facebook group in LA that's exclusive.
Yes.
There's a waiting list to get into it.
Waiting list.
And if you don't post enough, you get kicked out of it.
Whoa.
And it's got some actresses and some famous people in it and stuff like
Renee
that.
Zellweger.
She's like, what do you guys think of my new face? And then there's a poll.
We're expecting a new face.
Wow.
So I don't know. I just don't know if I can get into all that. I don't
have to.
You don't have to, but it does give you some perspective and expose you to experiences of people that you wouldn't otherwise get when you're in your friend group. I was going to say, Avery gave me a perspective that he had that maybe I just didn't want to buy into, and I didn't buy into it. And my experience was different, and every experience is different. But when you have a bunch of friends and it's like-minded ways of parenting and all that, it creates a bubble. So it is
totally important
to just see how it is for other people, even if just to gain perspective on your own situation. Like, oh, I don't have it so bad. My kid doesn't scream for 2 hours a day.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Do you have anyone that just had a kid or is expecting within the next few months?
So one of my good friends in LA, who's also a comedian, you guys should have her on. Erin Lennox is her name. Okay. She just had a baby 5 weeks ago. Billy Wayne Davis is her,
great.
husband.
Yeah. So we should have them both on.
Yeah.
With
you
the
totally
baby
should. Yeah.
In between naps. We'll do a 15-minute episode.
He is super cute, this baby.
A baby-sode.
I actually, speaking of what we were talking about before, people performing with their kids on stage, she just performed for the first time on Saturday at her own show, which is this awesome monthly show at the Spoke Bicycle Cafe on one Saturday a month. I don't know which one.
Nice little promo push there.
Yeah, no, it's a great show. And so big crowd, and she wore the baby, and she only did 2.5 minutes because he woke up. He didn't start crying, but he woke up, and she panicked and was like, I just got to get out of here.
I got to get home as soon as possible.
While we were expecting, I wanted to do that so bad, and Avery's like, you cannot do that. But in fairness, I wanted to do it at the Comedy Store at 1 a.m.
Yeah.
The best club, the grossest club in there. The air quality in there is you bring the same air as Kinnison, and look how that turned out, you know?
Well, I know Kurt Braunohler tried to do it when he had his little daughter at like, I think she was older. I think she was like in the 6-month range or something. And she just melted down on stage and he had to get off. Like Jermaine Fowler has brought his baby to a show. Like, and I'll be like, I'll watch the baby while you go up. And like, we just watch the baby right outside the showroom or whatever.
Oh, wow.
That's cool.
I didn't know you had a kid. We should have him on.
Yeah.
Who else can we have on?
I'll give you guys names.
I did the Lion King thing at a show I do at the Improv where we did like the intro to the Lion King. We held the baby up, and then my wife immediately took the baby home.
So your kid was a prop and then was immediately whisked away to better air quality. Great. So she just had one, and then she has. I met someone through her who lives in my neighborhood because I just moved. Who has like?
You live in a baby friendly neighborhood.
Yeah, now I live in a more child friendly neighborhood because I was living in West Hollywood, very close to the Comedy Store, where I think when you hear a kid on the street from your apartment, you're like, it's spooky because there's so few kids in West Hollywood.
You don't think of West Hollywood as necessally a bad neighborhood, but it's definitely not a child-friendly
neighborhood. Exactly. It's a great neighborhood if you're it's a young man's game is what I tell people.
Exactly.
I'm like, we were living in right near the Laugh Factory, actually, and like great location for walking, restaurants, bars, everything. But I would once in a while hear a kid like cry or yell out to somebody on the street and be like, ugh, like it was weird. Like it's just so not a kid neighborhood. So we moved to the east side of town and met a girl there who's got a kid, and then I've got another good friend who's having a baby in on the East Coast a few weeks after me, and my brother is actually having a baby. I'm the oldest of 6 kids. My youngest brother and his wife are also having a baby 10 days after me.
That's
awesome.
Really great.
Yeah, so super close due dates.
It's good because like you'll sort of grow up together, and like you'll be able to talk about things, and you can hang out. And the key thing is that you'll have them at the same age so they can kind of play together, not like break the other one because one's like, a few years older than the other one.
Yeah, he lives on the East Coast, so hopefully they'll be able to see each other, more often than not. Yeah. But
aside from the distance, the only downside to that is having to split the possible. When I go out of town, my sisters or mom come out and watch the baby while my wife's at work.
Well, my brother's wife's mom lives near them too.
Okay,
so they've got another option. My mom's never going to come out here and watch my kid while I go out away.
Where's your mom live?
My mom lives in Connecticut, and she's a pediatrician, and so you'd think that would be great.
These little fuckheads.
She's just not going to. I think she'll come out for visits, but she's not going to come out like. She's getting up there in age, and like that flight's long for her, even though she does Delta Comfort, so she can do unlimited wine. And but I just don't see that. I could see my sister coming out. Yeah, I could see my sister coming out to maybe watch the kid, like if I had to go away for like a week or something, maybe, and that would have to be like a work thing. So that's the only thing that I worry about because like, where are you guys from?
Toronto,
the Detroit area.
Okay, so like we're all like most people in LA, no one's from here really, and so I don't really have. I think about that, like, what if I would just want to go to like Vegas for the weekend? There's no one. Well, friends. I mean, maybe I'm just going to have to like figure out some kind of barter situation with my friends that have kids.
You also have kids, or do you trust people that don't have?
Sure, yeah.
Your best bet is the people that want to have kids but don't have them.
Right. And so you're like, want to give it a roll, want to roll the dice.
You guys babysat for me for a bit.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
It's really
a great,
nice.
Just go, here you go, give it a go.
Yeah.
And if the situations were to have lined up, we would have taken Cole for a weekend or something.
Yeah.
You guys are so lucky you have each other because you guys we're friends with comedians. They're not the most like responsible people.
Well, some are, but very few.
Yeah.
Very, very
it's
few.
Like you have to cherry pick some people and you're like, you guys think you can keep this thing alive for 48 hours?
Yeah, but I have a set at the store for 15 minutes. Can I prop the baby up? And you're like, we're back to where we started.
In our first run of episodes, we had Josh Wolf, and we did a bunch of interviews and we cut them up over the course of the first run of episodes. And Josh Wolf was one of our interviews, and he had a bunch of kids.
He has many kids?
He has many kids. What, 3, 4? 3.
Whoa. That's a lot, yeah.
And he would have Joey Diaz watch his kids. And my favorite story is that his daughter would yank a handful of butt crack hairs. He would have like plumber's crack, and his daughter would yank a handful, and he would have to guess how many she had.
So Josh would come home, and he'd hear in the other room just like
Oh, 5. Oh, you got me good there, cocksucker.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jared, your husband,
yes,
he's on the road a lot.
He's starting to go on the road again more because he was writing for he was a staff writer on a late night show, and
cool.
so when you do that, you can't really do the road as much. Mm-hmm. So he wasn't doing that as much, and now he's starting to get back on. He's actually doing a road gig 2 days before I'm due.
I did the same thing in
North Carolina.
Oh wow!
Like in a place that is very difficult to fly back from in the event that I go.
You won't. You'll probably be a few days late.
I think so too. And actually, we might induce because I'm a woman of a certain age, and in that case, it's like going to be planned for like right after when he gets back. But when he originally asked me, I was like, "Come on, man!" And he was like, "I really want to get back out on the road."
We got this new material.
All right, man, that's cool.
Wow, you know who you married, I guess.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We had to be induced 2 weeks early, and I had just gone to San Francisco headlining the Punchline. It was my first time headlining for a while.
Fun club.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was doing the rest of the week with Bobby Lee, and my wife's like, "You might have to come home before the gig's over." And I was like, "Can't we just wait a few more days to induce their?" She's like, "This isn't like you're rescheduling coffee with someone."
I know. It's really
But luckily,
it's like already we're doing all the work. Could you guys just be there? Could you just be physically present?
Yes, right after the Sunday Night Late Show.
I did drive back after the Saturday Night Late Show.
Yeah.
And then we went to the hospital a few days later.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Do
mean,
you do
it's
the road?
gonna work out. You know what? I have done the road mostly to open for Jared.
Oh, cool.
That's
fun.
like,
is that fun as a couple today?
Yeah. I usually feature for him. And when we were in New York, we did it all the time because like there's so many places you can like kind of drive to and stuff. Whereas here, I don't know, it's like a lot more flying.
There's some one-nighters, but it's not like New York where it's like the Eastern Seaboard.
Yeah, exactly.
There's tons of
so
places
many cities.
up and down.
Totally.
Yeah. Now, a lot of the time, like the headliner, like for people listening, the headliner will tell the feature, okay, you're doing, 15 minutes or 20. Were you like the one who would be like, I'm doing 25 tonight?
No, we would truly just like ask the club, like what's the normal breakdown or whatever. And it was like at the beginning when we were first dating, like he would sometimes bring me to feature and then sometimes not. And I'd be like, why not? Or whatever. And
it's a dude weekend.
Yeah. But sometimes it would just be like he didn't know the club and he didn't want to.
Right.
But now he knows that I kill. So it's but he knows I can do a 20-minute feature set that's going to do well for you and warm the crowd up for you, especially after he's gone on the road so many times and had so many local features suck.
Yeah.
Now he'll fight for me to come with him a little bit more.
Totally.
But and I've headlined like here and there at different like Boulder or like random little things, but I don't do it. I don't do it as much as him.
Are you concerned with the road schedule once the baby comes?
I'm not too concerned because I feel like we have a bunch of projects in the works, both of us separately and together. And like, I think if he's going away one weekend a month or even two, that's fine. He's not the kind of person that's going to be like, I'm on tour for 6 months. I'm never home. That's just really not his. I don't think that's his.
Get the bus gassed up.
Yeah. Yeah. When we were in Chicago one time at Zany's, our middle, like I actually think I hosted and he headlined, and then this guy featured for us, and I have no idea what his name is, but he was doing that. He was like, I live in a trailer. What am I trying to think? A camper van, like an RV, with my wife who homeschools our 2 kids, and we just drive around the country, and I do this.
And I guess
it's like that movie Captain Fantastic.
Yeah, kind of. Except
stir crazy.
Yeah. Except I don't think it was like a anti-establishment trying to teach my kids knife skills so they can survive the apocalypse type of thing.
It's the creative version.
I think it was this guy was like, I think I could become like, and I was like, are you trying to sell this as a show or something? I haven't heard a lot from that guy, so I hope it worked out.
I do too. But more attention you pay to the kids, the better.
I think also if they're at a certain age where that's like a cool adventure, but then I think there's a point where never having a school or friends or a bed that stays in one zip code for the night is.
What do you mean no friends? They're friends with all the cocktail waitresses.
I love Tammy.
Are you worried about being on your own while he's out on the road?
Not really, because like I said, I'm the oldest of 6 kids. My mom's one of 14 kids. I've spent my like whole life babysitting, and like I have a lot of experience with kids. So I don't think I'll be, I feel like if I